What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal SpazPhoenix, the YWC Reality Check, and you may have noticed there was no Raw review this week. Why was there no Raw review this week? Because I'm just fucking sick of some of the people in this community bashing on me for liking what I see in the current product right now. The only thing in the product right now that drives me a bit nuts is the super booking of some people and Team Hell No. But of course that in and of itself makes me a terrible, terrible, horrible person. So I didn't bother doing a review because I would have had a lot of positive things to say that would have had me shot in the face. Dolph Ziggler's looking pretty good right now. My buddy The Miz is looking pretty good right now. Punk's looking pretty good right now. That's really all I can say about that. Now, what did I do instead? I avoided the negativity. I looked for the positive. I looked for the good, like I'm getting slammed for doing. What did I do? I looked forward to Wrestlemania season, and this is where everybody will say, oh, it's so far away and all the wrong people are going to be pushed, whatever. What I did, I created a wish list of sorts, a fantasy booking, and yes, I know Ashton's out there, and Ashton doesn't like when I do fantasy booking. Ashton can go fuck himself. And here's what I did. I put together a card. This is a card that I know we're not going to get. This is not a card that I ever even think is feasible or possible. This is a card that is entirely fantasy. This is a card that, you know, doesn't look at what's good for business, brother. It doesn't do any of that. This is simply a list of matches that I would like to see. Now, do I know that a lot of these don't make any sense based on the current situation, whatever? Have I left off a lot of people that people would insist need to be on here? I've left off Brock Lesnar. I've left off Triple H. I've left off Ryback and all that sort of thing. This is just me having a bit of fun, me being creative, which I know is another bad thing. Ashton can still go fuck himself. But this is what I did. This is what I did for fun. I like it. I want to share it with you guys, and you guys can tell me what you think. Haters will be deleted and blocked and ignored. Anybody positive or negative that wants to give me any legitimate, constructive, creative feedback on this is more than welcome, and I invite any/all of you to make a response to this video. Tell me what you would like to see at WrestleMania. Tell me, if you were booking WrestleMania tomorrow, what you would want to see. That's what this is. This is not a prediction. This is not, hey, this is what I think they're going to do at WrestleMania. This is what I would do. Not for WrestleMania 29 specifically, but in general, this is what I would do if I was handed a WrestleMania to book. Starting off with the YouTube pre-show, because we have that now and it has to be acknowledged. Handicap match. 3-on-2. Team Cobra versus the 3MB. Why? Because before 3MB became a thing and before Team Cobra became a thing, I thought the perfect low-card feud would have been Zack Ryder versus Heath Slater. I thought it was great. I thought they were both on the same level. Like, Heath Slater became the lovable loser jobber leading up into Raw 1000, and, you know, Zack Ryder is like sort of the lovable loser face that we just, you know, kind of want good things for, and they've both got groups. Why do I have it as a 3-on-2 handicap match? Because I want three-man band to win. I want Heath Slater to beat Zack Ryder, but if I do it in such a way where it's a handicap match, then Zack Ryder doesn't look like shit, and even Santino, which some people like to push, and some people even think deserves to be in the Elimination Chamber, they don't look too bad for it. So that whole WWE mentality of the good guys overcoming doesn't happen, but at least there's a ready-made excuse for the good guys when they come out on Raw or whatever. I would start off the actual show with The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. Why? Because it would be a great test for both of them. It would be a great test for both of them because Miz has just turned face. Miz has just turned face, but most people still can't stand him, so it would be great to see if he could get legitimately cheered. At the same time, Ziggler's a heel who gets... I'm popular, aren't I? Ziggler gets cheered even though he's a heel, so it would be a great test to see if Miz could get cheered and Ziggler could get booed. It would be a great match overall. WWE's pushing both of these guys. I like both of these guys, and here's the thing. I would have Miz go through the entire match as a face, Ziggler go through the entire match as a heel. I would have The Miz low blow Ziggler and win by scheming means to revamp a heel turn, or a heel return, I guess you would say, and keep his WrestleMania streak alive at WrestleMania, bringing him to 4-0. But don't worry about Ziggler, I will get to him later in this video. Kofi Kingston versus Justin Gabriel versus Tyson Kidd for the Intercontinental Championship in a triple threat match. Now, a lot of reasons for this. First of all, triple threat is no disqualification, no count out, automatically. Which, I can speak, I swear. Why do I stumble? Maybe I'm an idiot? Absolutely. In a triple threat match situation, there are no countouts, there are no disqualifications, which for 3 high flyers opens up the floodgates of possibility wide open. Now, storyline wise, you could say Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd are a tag team. They're tired of not being recognized as a tag team. They're not going to get onto the WrestleMania card as a tag team, so they might as well go for a singles title. Now, both of them decide they want to go for Kofi Kingston's Intercontinental Championship. They have a bit of a feud with each other, you know, sort of dysfunctional tag team, whatever. Both of them ask for title shots. Both of them get them. Whoever the GM is at the time says, yeah, neither one of you is going to get a one-on-one title match. We're going to make it a triple threat. We go into the match, and there's 2 situations that can happen there. The 2 situations that can happen there are either the bickering tag team partners cost each other the title, and Kofi Kingston manages to escape because of it, or the tag team does work together, they beat the crap out of Kofi Kingston, and one of them wins. Now, who I have winning this is Justin Gabriel, only because I think he's deserved a push for a long time, but this, as far as mid-card, could steal the show if done properly. Next, I would have Alberto Del Rio versus Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship match, for the World Heavyweight Championship in a submission match. Now, I would have Alberto Del Rio play up on this whole angle that he's got with Rosa Mendez right now, so that he forms sort of a mini faction or a mini set of backup in Primo and Epico, much like, if anybody remembers Edge, how he had Hawkins and Ryder behind him being sort of his like little mini edges. I would have Primo and Epico be his backup that way, and it would be one of those, can Daniel Bryan defy the odds, blah 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 blah. He can't. Obviously, he would get triple teamed by all 3 of these guys because it's a submission match. The only way the match ends is by a submission. Hence, you'd have a lot of interference. Daniel Bryan would have the living crap kicked out of him, and Alberto Del Rio would get the submission victory, much like he did at the Survivor Series. Now, because of this, Daniel Bryan, the dynamic character that he is, would absolutely snap and own the living fuck out of Alberto Del Rio after the match. Alex, don't worry, I did make your boy look good in the end. Now, Alberto Del Rio is the champion, is lone in the ring, beaten, bruised, and broken, laid out in the middle of the ring. What does that leave open the opportunity for? Dolph Ziggler comes in, cashes in, becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. Now, not only has he defeated a monster heel in Alberto Del Rio, who has just eviscerated Daniel Bryan, he also got the tables turned on him earlier in the night by The Miz, who was indeed being a heel. This would be, those 2 events in one night would be the beginning of a face turn for Dolph Ziggler. Miz was turn heel. So going into the pay-per-view, you've got Miz as a face, Dolph Ziggler as a heel. You have a double turn, and you have immense possibilities going forward with that. Now, that's how that works out. Now, what do we do with The Undertaker? This will always be the topic of high debate, and this will be the part of the video that absolutely gets me shot in the face. The last few years, we've had legend versus legend. We've had Taker versus Edge, Taker versus Shawn Michaels, Taker versus Shawn Michaels, Taker versus Triple H, Taker versus Triple H. Flip the script. Have Undertaker push a new guy, help a new guy, do whatever. Who are the newest, most exciting people on the roster right now? It's got to be The Shield, doesn't it? So Undertaker makes his big comeback, maybe just after Royal Rumble, on Raw, on SmackDown, whatever. He's about to speak. He gets cut off by The Shield's music. Now, we don't even know what The Shield's music is yet, but I'm sure it'll be like generic WWE Rock #2. The 3 of them come down with smiles on their faces and confidence on their faces because they know they have a 3-on-1 advantage over The Undertaker. Undertaker raises his hands, the lights go out. When he raises his hands and the lights come on again, who is Undertaker flanked by? Oh yes, The Ascension. This is the match that will push NXT, if NXT is supposed to have any weight going forward. A 3-on-3, 6-man casket match at WrestleMania. Undertaker and The Ascension versus Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins. Oh yes, load those guns, cock the hammers back, my face is right here, I want to see that match happen. Next, what would we have? Just to sort of lighten the mood between big matches, we would have the Usos versus the Primetime Players for the WWE Unified Tag Team Championships. And if that's not fun enough already, the Primetime Players and the Usos, who have a tremendous amount of energy, throw in special referee Road Dogg Jesse James. I think that would be a lot of fun. I'd have the Usos go over the Primetime Players. I'm a fan of both teams. I think this match could do amazing things going forward. After that, you could have them feud with Kid and Gabriel. You could have them feud with 3MB. If you want another sacrificial lamb sent to slaughter, you could even give them Team Cobra and just dispose of them completely. The next one is The Rock. Now, The Rock. Who's The Rock going to face? Is he going to face Brock Lesnar? Is he going to face, you know, Triple H? Is he going to face The Undertaker? Is he going to face Cena? Or is he going to face Punk? None of the above. I would have The Rock come back. I would have The Rock come back. Listen very, very carefully. I would have The Rock come back on SmackDown and say how proud he is of his heritage, how proud he is to be a third-generation star, and how disappointed he is in the fall from grace of another third-generation star, Randy Orton. I would have him call Randy Orton out to do this sort of, hey man, I know how good you can be, you know, why are you wallowing in obscurity, why are you doing all this mid-card crap when we know you could be one of the faces of the company. I would have him do it in such a way where he thinks he's helping out Randy Orton, but Randy Orton, who obviously at this point would turn heel, would snap back, you know, much like people do when Foley tries to give them a pep talk. He would snap back on The Rock, they would go at it, and these guys would go at it one-on-one at WrestleMania. The story is there. They are, I've already said it enough times, how sort of Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, Triple H, John Cena, The Rock, CM Punk already kind of exist above the roster a little bit with some of their feuds. Orton deserves to be there. This is the match that would get him there, and I would definitely have Randy Orton go over The Rock. For those people out there that say I'm a senseless, mindless rock mark, it makes more sense to elevate Randy Orton. Elevate Randy Orton over The Rock, because Randy Orton's the one that's going to be hanging around. Now, did I celebrate when The Rock beat John Cena? Absolutely, because WWE, listen to me very carefully, once again, WWE does not need John Cena. There, I said it. The Rock could do great things for Randy Orton if Randy Orton beat The Rock at WrestleMania. Oh, yes. The last filler match of the night would be a six-pack challenge for the Divas Championship. AJ versus Eve versus Layla versus Caitlyn versus Tamina versus, oh yes, more NXT flavor, I would bring up Paige. I would have AJ go over because I think she deserves to go over. AJ has been the closest thing to a main event diva we've had in the last little while. Problem with that being is she hasn't had very many matches. Yeah, it would be great. I would love for the last two people involved in the match to be AJ and Paige, because AJ and Paige one-on-one is a great match that I would like to see, but for WrestleMania purposes, we love those pile of people matches, so have an elimination-style six-pack challenge, which is, you know, two competitors in the ring at once, the other four on the four corners waiting to be tagged in, you know, anybody can tag in anybody, for the last two people involved in that to be AJ and Paige, and to have AJ finally go over would be a tremendous thing for her, because she would bring the main event notoriety to the championship, and the championship would bring the actual in-ring credit to her. Those two elements coming together would be absolutely fantastic. And here's where we go. Cock back that hammer, get another bullet, load it up, point it right here. The main event of WrestleMania should be, oh, surprise, CM Punk versus John Cena. Why? Oh, we've seen it 100 times. Oh, Spaz, I thought you hated John Cena. Oh, with this and that. We're YWC marks. We're not supposed to see any match more than once. My feelings on John Cena aside, you can't deny, and again, it draws bile in my stomach to say this. Trust me and take my word on that. Punk versus Cena is this generation's Rock Austin. Not because John Cena is equal to The Rock or equal to Austin, but because of everything it represents. We as fans, no matter what side of the fence you're on, everybody picks up their eyes and their ears when John Cena and CM Punk are in the ring together for what it represents. It represents the fans versus the WWE. It represents wrestler versus superstar. And it represents who should truly be the face of the company, which is obviously CM Punk. But because it means all that, and on the condition that this be their final battle, this match needs to happen one time at WrestleMania. One time. And CM Punk needs to go over and introduce a new belt. That's it. That's my card. 3MB versus Cobra, Miz versus Dolph Ziggler, Wade Barrett versus Sheamus, Kofi Kingston versus Justin Gabriel versus Tyson Kidd, Alberto Del Rio versus Daniel Bryan, Undertaker and the Ascension versus The Shield. Yes, I'm blocking my face as I speak. Usos versus the Primetime Players, The Rock versus Randy Orton, AJ versus Eve versus Layla versus Caitlyn versus Tamina versus Paige, and CM Punk versus John Cena. That's how WrestleMania needs to be for me. That's it. I had a lot of fun doing this. I really, really hope that this inspires some conversation, some response. You know, as Alex would say, you know, put your comments in the description box below, make a video response, do what you do. I really, really hope to get a lot of conversation going with this, and I really hope to assuage some of the negativity that's festering in the YWC right now, and at least we can look forward to WrestleMania season. Because even when WWE's total shit, even going into last year when we had Rock versus Cena shoved down our throats, WrestleMania season is still a better time and a better headspace to be in. Anyway, I hope I've done a positive job of reminding you all of that. I've had a lot of fun. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching this video. I've rambled on far too long now. I've been SpazPhoenix, your YWC reality check. Subscribe up there. Talk down there. Start a conversation. Keep this conversation. Don't be a stranger. I will talk to each and every last one of you later if I stop tripping over my words. But for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.